Jaguars OTAs are in the books, and with that, I'm going to provide 5 standout performers from OTAs. If you're a fan of the show, please like and subscribe on YouTube. Y'all's support means the world to me. Cannot do this without you guys. Follow myself on Twitter at Jordan DeLugo, Generation Jaguar, at Generation Jag. We did get some good news on the injury front regarding CJ Beathard, the Jaguars' number 2 quarterback. According to Ian Rappaport, he avoided major injury to his groin and will not require surgery. Not clear at this point when he will be back, but with 3 months until the start of the regular season, it appears he'll be good to go. And Beathard is a quality backup quarterback in my mind. I didn't know too much about him coming over from San Francisco, but from what I have seen from him during his time in Jacksonville, he's embraced the idea of being a backup quarterback, and I think he has the ability to be a gamer when needed. I think you've seen that throughout his college and professional career. Obviously, if CJ Beathard has to go into the game during the regular season, not great. You want Trevor Lawrence on the field, but I think he is a capable backup. Still no update on Jordan Smith, the edge defender, 2021 rookie the Jaguars traded up for in the 4th round. He went down with a lower body injury on Monday as well. Still have not received word on his status, but obviously hoping for the best for Jordan Smith, who kind of turned it on a bit during his rookie year down the stretch, showing the ability to set the edge and had a good offseason to this point. So you're just hoping that he's not going to miss significant time. But yes, the point of today's video and podcast is OTA standouts. We've got 5 of them. I've got a couple bonus ones to talk about as well. OTAs, organized team activities, not mandatory. There's no pads, but they are full speed. Overall, it's not a great gauge for where these guys are at because football is a game of physicality, a game of contact, and you're really just not allowed to get into that too much at this stage in the game. Training camp will be where we really get into the nuts and bolts of what this team really looks like. But I do want to go ahead and acknowledge some players that stood out to me on the field over the course of OTAs, the OTAs that the media was allowed to attend. We'll go ahead and start with tight end, if you want to call him that. Evan Engram. Jaguars brought him over from the New York Giants. He spent the first 5 years of his career in New York as a former first-round pick. Caught a lot of passes, but this is a guy who hasn't been in the best situations throughout his career, and he's had some inconsistencies in his own play. He's dropped some passes, some untimely passes, had some just issues that you don't want to see popping up, but he has been a producer every single year. He's caught at least 43 passes, I believe, every year of his career. Now he has Doug Peterson coaching him up, Trevor Lawrence throwing him the football, and this is just based on what I've seen through OTAs. I have not seen him struggle to hold on to the football. Earlier this week on Monday, the guy, I believe, caught 7 passes during team drills in one practice. By far the leading receiver on that day. He just has so much athletic ability. He is a good route runner, and he has huge hands and a huge catch radius. Like, he's able to make really difficult catches. It's just about hauling in the easy ones consistently and not having any focus drops for Evan Engram. And so far throughout OTAs, we haven't really seen any of those frustrating moments from Evan Engram. Of course, we haven't seen a ton of practice, but from what I have seen, I have not seen those frustrating moments that you come to expect from Evan Engram. I've seen plenty of highlight reel grabs. I've seen plenty of him getting wide open because of his athleticism and his route running ability. Is it possible that Evan Engram is going to have the best season of his career in a contract year? Because yes, the Jaguars brought him in, but they only gave him that 1-year, $9 million deal. He's got to prove himself to the Jaguars or to whoever is going to end up looking for his services in 2023. So there's plenty of motivation there for him to come out and ball out and show that he can be a bona fide starting tight end, a difference maker in the NFL. Doug Peterson's done this with a lot of guys. It's not just been Travis Kelce and Zach Ertz and Dallas Goedert. He made Trey Burton a boatload of money when he was there with the Eagles. Got paid by the Bears. So I think there's a real chance here that Evan Engram has the best season of his career from a consistency standpoint. And there's never been any question about his ability to make big plays. It's been about making the easy plays and the timely plays. Can he do that under Doug Peterson with Trevor Lawrence throwing him the football? We're going to find out. But so far through OTAs, he's looked really damn good. Laviska Shenault, for the first time in his career in 2021, professional or collegiate, he struggled to catch the football. Haven't seen any of that so far from Viska. You've heard a lot of positivity coming from the coaching staff, coming from Trevor Lawrence. Every day I've been out there, all I've seen from Viska is big smiles on his face. He's volunteered to, take on more of a special teams role as a return man while Jamal Agnew is coming back from his hip injury. And you haven't seen any drops. You've seen Laviska looking athletic, looking sharp, catching the football. I'm willing to bet on Viska having a major bounce back in terms of consistency, in terms of being able to be a reliable target that catches the football and makes the plays that are there to be made. And if you're able to get him the football and you're able to feel confident in his ability to, catch the easy ones, this is a guy that is dynamic with the ball in his hands. He's such a mismatch for defensive backs. He's 6'1", 6'2", 225, 230 pounds. Viska is a load for defensive backs. And if he is in the right headspace, which it looks like he is, he's going to be really difficult for defenders to deal with, especially as a complementary piece. He was forced into a starting role after DJ Chark suffered his injury last year. But now he's in a situation where he's a complementary piece for the Jaguars. I think it's going to be perfect for him. Let's not forget, this is a guy who's caught over 120 passes in the first 2 years of his career. Scored 5 touchdowns as a rookie. Has the ability to make an impact as a receiver, as a runner, as a gadget player. I think Laviska's looked really good, really confident, really happy, in a good place, and I think you're going to see better results from him in 2022. RobertsonHarris. This is interesting because judging offensive and defensive linemen is very difficult when there's no contact. Judging anyone on the football field can be a difficult task with no real physicality and contact, no pads on. But RobertsonHarris has stood out more than anyone else on the offensive or defensive line. He's been all over the place, consistently in the backfield. And you look back at his 2021 season, he really struggled with his health for a lot of the early part of the season. But once he got healthy around week 10 to week 18, he was on pace for 42 pressures and 6 sacks over a full 17-game season. If you're able to get that type of production from an interior lineman, when you've got Josh Allen, Trayvon Walker, and DeJuan Smoot, and Arden Key, and even Kayvon Chason as your edge guys, if you can get RobertsonHarris pushing the pocket from the interior and creating that type of pressure, Josh Allen and Trayvon Walker and all those guys, they might feast. And I think RobertsonHarris needs to be that for this team. I don't think there's a lot of other guys that you can look at that look like they're ready from an interior standpoint to make a huge impact in terms of getting after the quarterback and pushing the pocket. So far, I've heard it from Trevor Lawrence. I asked him about it earlier this week. I've seen it myself. RobertsonHarris looks like he picked off where he left off in Jacksonville against Indy at the end of last season when he got 7 pressures in that final game of the season. Andre Cisco. This is another one. Really didn't get on the field enough during his rookie year, which in my opinion is no fault of his own. I think the coaching decision to not get him on the field in favor of Andrew Wingard was a mistake. He looked good throughout training camp last year. He looked good in the preseason, and then you get to the regular season, you don't see him. He finally did get on the field late for the Jaguars. What did he do? Forced a fumble against the Colts, helped the Jaguars seal that game. He also, in his first game when he got in terms of playing significant reps, almost got a pick. An unbelievable play on the ball. It was not his play to make, but he saw the quarterback's eyes, read and reacted, and went out and almost got a pick on a guy that he was not even close to when the quarterback decided to throw that football. He's got ball skills, so much ability. And what I've liked to see from him so far throughout OTAs, he looks like he has that swag and that confidence that you saw from him really at Syracuse as one of the most dynamic playmakers on defense in the country, a ball hawking type of safety. I think that's what you're going to see from Andre Cisco in year 2. Then we've got Travis Etienne, and this might be the most exciting development of all. Coming off the Liz Frank injury he suffered last preseason, even if he was just healthy and wasn't really standing out, that would be exciting for Jags fans, right? But this dude looks every bit as fast and every bit as quick as he did, and he's making a ton of plays. His hands look great. So I think when you talk about him being the next Debo, he's probably more like the next Christian McCaffrey or Alvin Kamara type of player versus Debo, because he's going to be lined up in the backfield more than he is as a receiver. But he's going to impact the game in a lot of ways for this Jaguars offense. I really think you look back at his college career, look back at how he looked last offseason, look at how he's looked this offseason. Travis Etienne has been really impressive. One of the best running backs in collegiate history, certainly in ACC history, all-time leader in touchdowns. Etienne has been fantastic so far throughout OTAs. He just looks so smooth, fast, athletic. His hands look great. I think Travis Etienne could be the workhorse for the Jaguars offense. When you talk about him getting the carries, when you talk about him getting targets in the passing game, he's going to be tough for defenses to account for. A couple little bonuses here. Jamal Agnew is not playing yet in terms of he's not out on the practice field running through team drills and stuff like that, but he is running through individual drills, and he looks really good. He's coming off the hip injury. It was a pretty brutal injury, but running through routes, taking kicks, he was doing that earlier this week. He doesn't look like he's lost a step at all. Looks super fast, very quick. He's making those cuts that you expect from Jamal Agnew as a returner, as a receiver that you saw last year. So that's been a really nice development. He should be ready, I would say, probably at some point in training camp before the start of the regular season. And then my bonus little observation here, it's been kind of cool seeing Josh Allen and Trayvon Walker off to the side at the beginning of practice, just working with outside linebackers coach Bill Shuey, working on setting the edge, working on the pass rush moves, and just kind of growing together in this defense. It's what you want to see from Josh Allen and Trayvon Walker, two guys that are going to need to play at an extremely high level for the Jaguars defense to get where it wants to get under Mike Caldwell in 2022, and to just see the individual focus from both of those guys working with the outside linebackers coach. I think it's been pretty awesome to see. Next up, we've got the entire coaching staff meeting with the media later today. I'll be out there. I'll try to get as much good information for you guys as I can. And then we've got mandatory minicamp that starts next week. Again, mandatory minicamp. Everybody's got to be there or they get fined. And the Jaguars have super high attendance right now anyways, so that's not really a concern. But after that little 3-4 day stretch next week, the squad's going to have a little over a month off before the start of training camp. That's going to do it. Thanks for tuning in, Duval. Make sure to hit me up on Twitter at Jordan DeLugo and follow Generation Jaguar at Generation Jag. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button on YouTube and check genjag.com for all the latest Jaguars news, analysis, and Duval gear.